Good evening, good evening. Hope you had a lovely bank holiday weekend, a super nice one with a great weather. And you've enjoyed your time and you are now relaxing, getting ready for a new work day tomorrow. I just thought I would make a daisy today, a super easy one. And I'm going to start with a piece of white gum paste, which I will knead to make it nice, soft and pliable. And then I'm going to pick that side which doesn't have any crack, and I will pick it up. Just double check to make sure that the sound is fine, as it happened the other day to talk to myself rather than to you. Okay, so I just made a super pointy end. That's usually called Mexican hat style. And I'm just going to flatten the edges. And at this point I will just have to roll out, and to roll out I'm going to use the handle of a brush. Just going to stretch that gum paste into a thin layer, and I really want it quite wide, because daisies usually have long petals, and I want to make sure that I've got enough paste in here. Plus I don't want a very thick finishing when I roll gum paste for making daisies, because petals should be very thin. Now when you pick cutter for daisies, have a think that obviously if you've got a plunge cutter, this used to be a plunge cutter but I've removed the plunge, then it will be difficult to use this method. So you'll have to take out the plunge to use it, because otherwise you'll not be able to fit this through. And the reason why I put the base is when I'm going to place this onto the wire, it will have no support. And that's the reason why we use the Mexican hat style, just to give a bit more strength to the flower. So those kind of cutters will be better to use. But as I'm only planning to make a small one today, I'm going to use this cutter, which is a patchwork cutter. A really nice type of cutters. So they usually are black in color, and they come in little sets, and they are very cheap comparing with other brands of cutters. And I'm going to place the cutter over the paste and press firmly. Now with those daisy cutters, you do have to apply a good pressure towards the center of the petal, towards the edge, because having so many petals, the flower intends to be quite intricate. So unless you get a very clean cut on the top, the petals will not look good. Okay, so I'm just going to try and push now. Because I've had this paste roll a bit onto the thick side, I flattened the base a little, but that's just going to be fine. I will be able to reshape it. And I'm going to smooth the petals a little bit. And the way I'm going to smooth them is by using the Dresden tool with the spoony end. Just going to stretch the petals. What's going to happen, the paste, which got quite straight edge after cutting, it will now turn up into a smooth edge. So the petals will get a smooth edge. And then with the sharp end of the Dresden tool, I'm going to apply a bit of pressure. Oops. Just curving the petals from the tip of the petal toward the center. Now it's a bit tricky because I got this end. There are some pads, of course I don't have one handy, which are called Mexican pads. They've got holes specially made so that if you work with those kind of flowers, you can practically pop the end of the flower onto that pad. Okay, just going to get the petals one by one. Now I got a bit of a shape here. And I will also need a bit of yellow paste. That's just a stretchy fondant. It's the new PME fondant. I'm not sure if you've ever tried the PME fondant. It works beautiful, but it's super firm, super hard to roll. Has to be put in the microwave to get to a decent state to be able to knead. And I'm going to get a sieve and then just place this through the sieve, just pressing very, very hard to get, oops, have to do it the other way because the paste is very hard. Now, obviously, if you've got a softer fondant, that's better. And I'm going to scrape this away with a palette knife. Just getting this away. Then I'm going to get my wire, and I'm using here a 20 gauge wire. I'm going to put a hook. That hook, it will secure the gum paste. So when I will introduce the wire through the petal, it will keep it in place, so the flower will not drop. And I need some glue. Of course, I don't have any glue, but I've got Trex. That's also going to work. I'm going to put some grease right here in the center and then attach the yellow, which I've just cut. I'm going to get a nozzle and just cut a round shape. Kind of ruined the shape, so I'm going to put it back and recut. And of course, it got stuck in here. It's Monday evening, so what can you expect? Okay, so I'm going to place this right in the center. Oh, that's a bit too big. Let me just try and find something a bit smaller. This is a bit smaller. Another type of nozzle. And I can just grab the center a little bit more and just make it suitable for this size flower. Okay, and that will work now. There is another way, quick way for making the center, and to be honest, I don't really like this one that much. It's just because the paste is so elastic, it did not came out nicely through my sieve. So another way to do it will be to get it to a ball shape. You see, just working by hand is easier. Ball shape, and then flatten. Again, I'm going to put some grease over. Then I'm going to take a toothpick, and I always have handy some semolina, which is colored with some yellow dust, and that can give the center a really nice look. Okay, so various ways to create a little daisy. Okay, so hope you've enjoyed my little flower. I can just make myself a little hairband out of daisies, and hope to see you back tomorrow evening for a new demo. Enjoy your evening and have a good day tomorrow.